Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Behind the Struggle podcast. I'm your host, CEO, and I'm joined here by Slim Zuli, the Unruly.
Why is that my nickname?
Because it rhymes.
The Unruly messed up. What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in yet another week. This is your girl, Alexia. Please follow me on the gram at Alexia Lou, on TikTok at Asexia, and don't forget to check out thisisceo.com.
Thank you. Before we get into this, Lexi, I don't know if you heard, but we might have to stop plugging your TikTok. I was reading some article that they're planning to ban TikTok in the United States.
They always say that, though. And they
I
never
know,
ban
but
it.
I know, supposedly they're going to start, there's like an age curfew now. I think if you're below the age of 18,
Well,
you
if
can
you're
only be
under
on
18, you
TikTok
shouldn't
for
be
an hour a
looking at
day.
me anyway.
Wow. What are you posting?
No, I'm just saying. Follow me, guys.
All right, but off that, because that's irrelevant. So today, guys, we're going to be talking about conspiracies in hip-hop.
There's so many. What do you mean? How are you differentiating this?
Well, I picked ones that I thought were pretty interesting, and I wouldn't say they have some truth to them, but definitely make you like scratch your head a little bit, or they're just dumb.
Okay.
I don't want to do any of the obvious ones, like we all heard, oh, Tupac's still alive, he just living in Cuba, like shit like that.
Yeah,
But
I've seen photos.
But these are a few that I heard, and I was like, this is interesting. And hip hop's like notorious for having these conspiracy theories. Now, there's a bunch we could do, but I'm not gonna go through all that because we ain't got that kind of time to go through all of them. So I'm gonna go with the first one, Alexei. And I'm just curious to see what your thoughts are on these conspiracies. All right, are you familiar with the rapper Gucci Mane?
Mm-hmm.
So you know who he is, right?
Yeah.
Well,
I couldn't pick him out in a lineup, but go ahead.
Well, there's a conspiracy that Gucci Mane is a clone.
Is a what?
He's a clone.
Well, they also say that Avril Lavigne and Katy Perry are clones too. So what? Like, can you elaborate or?
Wow, that I didn't know. That's interesting. All right, well, so the conspiracy behind this one is that when Gucci went to jail to serve a 2-year sentence, he was fat. But when he got out, he was 50 pounds lighter.
That is not enough evidence. I need more because, like, if he's in jail, he ain't doing anything. So yeah, I would work out too. Like, what's good?
All right, but hold on, it gets deeper.
Oh, pause.
So people believe he was killed in prison and a clone was made to replace him called Gucci 2.0 in order to keep the money coming in.
Stop.
To further this theory, when he came out, he also didn't have the same ice cream cone tattoo tatted on his face anymore. It's gone. And you see no remnants of the scar being there that you would see if someone had laser removal surgery.
Really?
Also, that he's speaking differently because you're actually able to understand him now.
So I'm curious, if you're going to clone somebody, why would you make them like half the size or whatever that they were? Like, if it's a clone, wouldn't you genetically, it'd be easier to make a replica, but I guess, like, clone isn't what? Like, test tube baby and then, like, grown from a little embryo and then, so obviously this baby, but there's no way to fast forward the aging process, so that doesn't make sense. So unless you're literally like, all right, I'm going to clone him as a full human, but, I feel like it's easier to inject fat cells than to take them out, so why wouldn't you keep him the same weight?
Well, here's where this theory takes an interesting twist that I was like, huh. So, people also say, the last part of this theory, is that the Gucci Mane that we see It's not actually Gucci Mane. It's Hobson playing the role of Gucci Mane.
No.
Because if you look at their photos of how Gucci Mane looks now and Hobson, they look the same.
Why would
Just
Hobson
Gucci Mane
do
has a
that?
beard.
Hobson wouldn't do that. That's crazier. That makes me. Until then, I was like, okay, maybe it's crazy because people, are crazy. But Hobson wouldn't even do that. Why would Hobson do that? Hobson would never. It's exhausting having one celebrity persona, let alone two. Plus, like, what Hobson doesn't gain anything from that, unless obviously, if Gucci Mane's actually dead, he's getting the money. But like, Hobson cannot be bought. He made that very clear. So there's really nothing in his character that would like make me be like, okay, I accept. Denied.
Yeah, so that's the Gucci Mane clone theory.
The only thing I'm caught up on is the tattoo, because I don't, like I said, I couldn't pick him out of a lineup, so I don't know anything about this tattoo. But I've had a tattoo removed. So there would be scarring for sure. There's never gonna be like amount of cocoa butter lotion is gonna make that go away. And if it's on your face, like it's on your face. So what is that? So now it's like, is the ice cream cone whatever? What the fuck? Why we have an ice cream cone? I just put that two and two together. Why you got ice cream on your face, bro? Anyway, why you put that on your face first of all, and then like if you're going to clone someone, that would be a very obvious thing to do again to make sure that the clone is legit. So it's too obvious.
Yeah, and it wasn't like a small ice cream cone either. It was big. It was like the whole side of his
Does he have facial
left
hair?
cheek.
I sound ignorant as hell.
He does now. When he was fat, when he had the ice cream cone, he didn't have much facial hair.
So, that would, sort of alleviate the scarring if the facial hair was there. But also, if you're fat and you lose a bunch of weight, there's I don't know his genetics, but there's a good chance you're going to have, like, stretch marks, So maybe that, like, how can you, like, how, this sounds racist, but honest question, like, how dark is he? So it's like, can you even see the scarring or like the stretch marks or what, you know what I mean? Like,
oh, he's dark.
So then maybe you can't see it. So are you literally like, oh, let me take this one paparazzi photo that's been fucking photoshopped and like smoothed over and like, oh, I don't see any scars. Obviously.
The theory got so crazy that Gucci Mane actually had to come out and make a statement about it.
Oh, so what'd he say?
He said that he's not a clone. He's like, but if people believe that, as long as they're talking about him, he doesn't care.
You see, and that is a very celebrity answer. Like, I don't give a fuck what you think. As long as I'm in the tabloids, more power to me. So it works out for him. He probably started that rumor, but like, I don't know, the evidence, because I haven't seen photos, but like the evidence just doesn't add up. I understand conspiracy theories like more or less can't really be proven because it's a conspiracy, but I vote no on this one. I don't think.
Oh, okay, we're voting now. All right, cool. So, first one's a no for Alexia, guys. All right.
Yeah. Next.
Denied. Right. Denied. All right, so the second conspiracy theory is about Drake. So, this conspiracy theory is that Drake actually tricks his audience for his songs to go viral. Like, they're not actually good songs. It's just that you hear them everywhere on TikTok, Instagram, on the radio, YouTube, and after being bombarded with them.
Or like a promotion tactic, marketing tactic?
I don't know. I mean, I would agree. I just see that as good marketing. But they say that his songs aren't actually good, but because you just hear them everywhere, it tricks his audiences into thinking it's good, and so the songs go viral, and then you hear them even more.
I don't think it's a trick. It's not like everyone's literally like brain dead in a coma. I think that because Drake's name is on it, people are like, well, it's gonna be good no matter what because Drake's name's on it. Sort of like Beyonce at this point, right? Like, you're never gonna really be like, Beyonce came out with a new song and it sucked. So like Drake is sort of on the same wavelength. And maybe he doesn't deserve that, but that is where he is.
Yeah, but that's one of the theories.
Well, what are your
But this
sources on
is
these theories? Where are you reading these? Where are you getting this?
I've done extensive research through the internet.
You hear that, listeners? If you want more info, just peep the World Wide Web.
All right. So this is the second conspiracy theory that involves Drake. This is the sicko mode conspiracy.
Okay.
Are you familiar with the song Sicko
Yes,
Mode
of
with Travis
course.
Scott and Drake? Okay. So Sicko Mode came out in 2018.
Okay.
And at that time, Drake and Kanye West were beefing.
Okay.
So there's a line in the Sicko Mode song where Drake says, crept down the block, made a right, cut the lights, paid the price.
Oh, I heard this, that he
checks
was
over
fucking
stripes.
Kim, right?
Yeah, yep.
Oh, no, keep going,
Yeah.
because maybe the listeners don't know this, but I did hear this theory. But no, say it. Say the whole thing.
Okay. Okay, yeah. So the rest of the lyric, he says, checks over stripes. That's what they like. And at the time, Drake has a deal with Nike, checks, and Kanye was with Adidas, stripes. So after these lines came out, people went on Google Maps to see his mansion because Kanye and Drake both live in the same neighborhood, Calabasas. So when you take the lyrics, crept down the block, made a right, it leads you directly to Kanye's crib on Google Maps.
Really?
Yep.
That sounds
so
a
the
little
theory
more than a
is
conspiracy
Drake.
theory. Then that sounds like Sherlock Holmes case solved.
So the theory is Drake put that in there to say that he's fucking Kim at night when Kanye's not around.
I personally think that he wasn't, but he put that in the song to get under Kanye's skin.
Oh, definitely. Well, then that also leads to this other Drake song, In My Feelings. You know that song,
Yeah.
right? Kiki, do you love me? Well, Kiki is Kim's nickname. So his whole Sicko Mode verse could have been a diss to Kanye on Travis Scott's song, who's dating Kylie, and Kim is Kylie's sister.
I don't know. It's too petty for me. It's like, yo, already rich and famous. Like, there's no need. I don't know. If I was like that status, I would not be playing this petty game. I'd be like in your face. So, but I can't speak because I'm not Drake. But I don't know.
I'm not gonna. I'm with you too because when I heard that thing about the Google Maps shit, and like they were beefing for so long and couldn't talk, I found that kind of crazy to me. I'm like, how y'all beefing all over like the internet and on Instagram and got all your fans going back and forth at these shows, but y'all literally live like around the corner from one another. Like no one decided to just like walk down the block and be like, hey, what's up, man? What's going on?
Or fucking
Let's just talk
move.
this
Like
out.
if it was that crazy, yeah. I mean, you rich, so don't give me
Yeah.
that shit.
All right, so those are the Drake theories. Now we're gonna get into the P Diddy conspiracy.
Oh. Okay. We rolling back the clock. Go ahead.
Well, we're gonna stay in present time, and then we're gonna roll back the clock for some further evidence. I'm curious to see what you think of this. So, in 2021, and I'm not gonna lie, the beginning of this sounds kind of dumb, and it's just like, whatever. But as you like dive deeper, pause.
AKA
it's like,
Alexia,
whoa, what the
shut
heck?
up so he can explain the whole thing. Okay, got it.
No. I'm just saying you could cut off any time, but I'm talking about for myself. As I was researching this, I was like, oh, that just sounds like a whatever stupid thing. And then as you dive deeper, I'm like, oh, that is sus, like super sus. So,
What?
anyways, there is a conspiracy that Diddy is secretly gay.
Elaborate now.
Yes. All right. So, in 2021, Twitter went after Diddy after he praised Lil Nas X's performance at the LGBT Awards, where he kissed his backup dancers. And Diddy posted on his Twitter, Lil Nas X did that, be fearless. And basically, Twitter was saying that that was Diddy's indirect way of showing his support for the gay community.
Okay, but support for that is very different from being a homosexual.
Indeed, indeed. And a lot of people were accusing him of being gay because of that. But that wasn't the first time Diddy was accused of being gay. Also, on the rapper Blood Sugar's album Hope in 2018, these were Diddy's lyrics.
Oh, man. Lay 'em on me. Pause.
Sometimes I ask myself, like, what is it going to take for me not to be afraid to be loved the way, like, I really want to be loved, but that I know how I really want to be loved, but, like, I'm scared to really, really feel that. It's like you want something, but you don't know if you can handle it.
That does not insinuate gay to me. Also, that sounded horrible. Can you, like, actually rap it?
That's how it said.
That's how it sounds on the song?
Yeah.
Oh, well, then the producer did some magic because that sounded horrible.
Well,
No,
here's the thing.
That doesn't really, because remember, what's that song? I'm sorry, guys. Please, like, all right, it's late. Shut up. What's the song where he's like, the tornado went through my room and he's exploring love, whatever. That's when he was coming out. He was gay. Not that. That doesn't
You think
sound
that's
like,
when it was?
huh?
You're saying that's when he was coming out as gay?
No, that wasn't P. Diddy. I'm talking about this other artist that was talking about a tornado going through his room, and then he just like experienced like, I don't know, anal for the first time, and he was like, "Oh, I love this."
Fuck?
You know what I'm talking about? You know what song I'm talking about?
No, not at all. What the heck?
No, you
That
do.
was
You
wild. Like the way you set that up. Yeah,
Frank
there was
Ocean.
a tornado in my room, man. Frank Ocean?
A tornado flew over my room, for you came. Excuse the mess it made. It usually doesn't rain in Southern California, much like Arizona. I
mean, I know
sing.
Frank Ocean is gay, but all right, if
But
I heard the song,
that was the
like,
song,
maybe I
right?
might
Where they were
remember
like,
it.
"Oh, Frank Ocean is gay because he's talking about anal or something," and I'm like, "Whoa!" But anyway, my point was those lyrics from P. Diddy did not come on. Why? You breathe. They didn't come off as like super gay to me, or like I want to explore. Oops. Or like I want to explore like a man's touch. Like no.
All right, well, this might have you question those lyrics even more then, because in 2017, one of his former Bad Boy members filed a lawsuit against Diddy for sexual harassment because Diddy asked him to take a shower with him.
Is that valid? No, honestly.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not like I'm like a huge P. Diddy fan and I'm like, that hurts my feelings. It doesn't, but I'm just shook by this because P. Diddy is, I guess he's more or less iconic, especially, like 90s or early 2000s, like in the past. But I mean, a lot of football players joke about showering together, right? Like,
I don't know.
I don't know.
Sounds kind of Paul. That's kinda weird.
So, like, was it a joke or was he serious? Because, like, I don't know. I mean, obviously, if you're filing a sexual harassment suit, it's definitely more than just, like, a couple words one time. But
yeah, that's a messed up way of playing a joke on somebody. Like, hey, man, you want to be funny? If I filed a lawsuit on you for sexual harassment for asking me to take a shower
so what happened with the
you,
lawsuit then? Because I don't know the situation, obviously, but, like, he maybe could have made some false claim just to get some money, because that's so outlandish that I feel like P. Diddy would just pay him just to make the problem go away, because it's like not big enough to like ruin his career, but it's big enough to like make the headlines. So he'd be like, what do you want? 10, like 100,000? Say less, and then like keep it moving. I don't know.
Maybe.
So
But
what
once
happened with the
again,
lawsuit?
this is. I don't know. I wasn't there.
You
All I know, it
researching
was a
shit and you weren't even researching.
conspiracy.
I'm sorry, chimps. Behind the struggle, we struggling because CEO has some ideas and he doesn't even follow through. I'm gonna teach you how to research
Wow.
thoroughly, okay? I'm gonna show you
Well,
how to be
you
the
know what?
FBI.
I research pretty good. It's just I don't always prepare for the questions Alexia is going to ask.
Well, you should.
That's
'Cause-
all it is. I should, and I would have like a 10-page thesis. I'm like, all right,
Exactly.
just
You
in
should
case
write
he
it
asks
down.
This for the paragraph 13.
Okay. I mean, that is a little sus. Is there anything else though?
No, that's it. That's where that ends.
All right. So that's still not like an exorbitant amount of evidence for me to be like, he's gay.
Well, check this out. It's about to get deeper. Pause.
You just said you had no
So-
more evidence. What do you?
Whoa, don't worry. Well, watch. So, here's the other conspiracy. The other conspiracy is Jay-Z is secretly gay.
Stop. I don't know why I believe that more than P. Diddy. That's fucked up. Tell me the tea.
Yeah, why do you believe that?
I don't know.
Tea.
Tell me the tea.
All right. So, 50 Cent recently did an interview with Big Boy on his radio show and said how Jay-Z isn't straight and that his style and way of doing things aren't original, that he's actually emulating Basquiat, who was a groundbreaking artist from the 1980s who became famous because of his graffiti-style paintings as they tackled issues of race, class, and identity, who was also gay. And on Jay-Z's song, Picasso Baby, there's lyrics that says, I'm the new Jean Michel, which is the name of Basquiat, the painter. Also, Jay-Z's new hairstyle is inspired by Basquiat. Even his whole look and the hair and everything that he has, he looks just like this guy.
All right, before
and
you
has
move
even
on, I
said
don't
that
think
he aspires
idolizing
to
someone
be
that's
like
gay
him.
makes you gay, but continue.
And then this comedian, I think the comedian's name is Corey Holman. His manager, I think, also manages Jay-Z. And his manager told him that Diddy and Jay-Z were doing some things on the low.
Hold up. I'm going to need him to cite his sources, okay?
The comedian's name is Corey Holman. You can ask him.
So, wait, what? He's witnessed them do things on the low? Like, what do you mean?
I don't know. He said the Coleman
The
said
researcher,
his
everyone.
manager
Let's give him a
said
round of
that-
applause.
Whoa. All I say, like, these are conspiracies. These are not actual proof. I mean, come on. I literally I started this off with saying Gucci Man is a clone. You think I believe this?
Okay, so the only thing I have to say, and obviously, like, there's no validity behind my opinion, and obviously I'm getting all this information right now. But putting,
That's
like,
crazy.
pieces together, I don't have the whole thing. I think that, like, there's a possibility that the pressure and the signing your soul to the devil to be a huge celebrity star, I think that a part of that does sort of come with homosexuality, but also cannibalism, but that's a whole other thing. But I think that I personally think that, you know, if they sign their souls away to the devil to have this fame and fortune and blah blah blah, maybe that was a part of the contract. I don't know.
I don't know. But this next conspiracy kind of adds a little bit of fuel to that fire of Jay-Z being gay, supposedly, on the low.
Okay.
So, the other conspiracy is that Beyonce faked her pregnancy.
What? Which one?
Her daughter, Blue Ivy.
Okay, first of all, why would she do that? And second of all, then who the hell is Blue Ivy? Like, whose kid is it then?
Are you ready for this?
I don't know, man.
All right, so Like I said, the conspiracy is that she was never pregnant with her daughter Blue Ivy, that she used a surrogate mother, someone else to carry the
That's
child
a
with
huge
Jay-Z's
risk,
sperm.
though.
Indeed, it is. And the evidence that people are going off of is when Beyonce was appeared on an Australian talk show, and when she went to sit down, her baby bump, her belly, basically collapsed in on itself and folded like a pillow. So people think that she was wearing a prosthetic baby bump,
So the only
like that
thing
it
I
wasn't
want to
real.
say about that is prosthetic baby bumps, they don't even do that. So unless it was like a literal pillow, which is very unlike Beyonce. Like if she's gonna fake a pregnancy, she's not gonna use a fucking pillow. She's gonna go through the whole expensive fake prosthetic, and those things do not fold like that.
Mm-hmm.
So continue.
Probably, but that's a conspiracy people have. And when people ask, like, why do you think she did it? They go back to the Jay-Z being gay
Well,
conspiracy
I
because
don't know
they
why
say,
when you
well,
said that, I thought of
oh,
a
go ahead.
conspiracy where they're like, we have video and picture of Michelle Obama's dick. And it's like, you
What
never
the
saw
fuck?
this, really? So they're like, no, there's a whole
No.
picture, like, Michelle Obama used to be a man, blah, blah, blah. And they have all this proof or whatever. So it's kind of like, it's not so much that, like, the camera adds 10 pounds, right? So, like, there could be a bunch of lighting issues or maybe whatever. So, like, you think that you see something. But if you
Mm-hmm.
replay a clip over and over again and everyone sees it, then yeah, there's a little bit more validity to it. But also, it's sort of like when you see like the clouds and you're just looking at a cloud and I'm like, I see a bear. And then all of a sudden you see a bear and you can't unsee the bear because I said it. So I
Mm-hmm.
think that that's like a very innate trait in humans where like if someone's like look at this video and this is what you're supposed to see in it, a lot of us will see that because it was in the text. So if we're shown the video without the context, without the text, I feel like, I mean, I'm not a scientist, but I should do a study, but more than 50% of us would
Oh
not
my
see
gosh.
what they're talking about.
I mean, you're probably definitely right on that. But this is what these people have stated,
So
and
I
the
also heard
conspiracy they go
that
with.
the
Oh.
twins, right? The Beyonce's twins were more or less like test tube babies and then inserted in Beyonce. So she chose the genetic traits for these twins. So she, like it's more it's easier for twins to have twins, right? It's rare for like twins to just pop out of nowhere. It's possible, but very rare. So like the chances of
Mm-hmm.
Beyonce having twins with Jay-Z is like what the fuck. So there's I guess maybe it's a conspiracy theory that Beyonce like literally chose the eye color, the type of hair, like all these things, and the fact that she was gonna have twins, and then inserted that into her uterus, right? So
Body.
that one I did hear. Not saying I believe it more than the other, but
Could you cite your sources?
it's just TMZ. No, I'm joking. It's just wild that like if all of her kids are like not Jay-Z's, then it's like, huh.
Exactly, and that's what they kind of go back to with the Jay-Z being gay. They're kind of saying she's doing that in order to like maintain this image that they have of like this power couple.
Yeah, it could be Jay-Z's genes still, but like just not the act. But if you're saying that Jay-Z referenced this graffiti artist, whatever, in like one line, now it's like how many lines did he talk about Beyonce and him, them having that secret, more or less, relationship like back when she was in Destiny's Child, and then marrying her and then saying his wife is like at the top. You know what I mean? Like there's more lines about that. So you're going off of one line of him saying he likes some artist. Not you. I'm just saying the
Jumped at the
conspiracy
gun.
theorists.
Thank God.
So like that doesn't add up either. Cause it's like, okay, maybe that
I
line
agree.
has truth to it. And again, if you're idolizing someone who's gay, that doesn't make you gay. Just like if you have gay parents, that doesn't automatically make you gay. But he does talk about Beyonce in his lyrics way more than whoever that was. Cause I don't even know who you're talking about.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I agree. I think it's definitely a reach. And when people started questioning her baby bump when she went on that talk show, Beyonce basically responded saying that it was her dress that folded, not her belly.
So I'd have to see the video because I don't know what you're talking about, but I don't know why I don't really not like trust Beyonce. So if she's saying something, I would just be like in one ear, not the other. But I would need to see
You
the
don't trust the
video.
queen bee?
No, just because she's like too elite, you know? Like we've put her on a pedestal and she gladly sat there. And I'm not saying she's a bad person. I don't know her and I'm not talking shit on Beyonce, but like she has the status and she like plays it well, you know? So like just like I wouldn't necessarily trust anything like a president would say. Same thing. Like
Hmm.
her and Jay-Z are just so high up on this whatever hierarchy that it's sort of like, well, their feet don't touch the ground. So they don't really understand the struggles behind the struggle. So anything you say,
It's
there's no
crazy.
validity behind it. But I guess, before Jay Z was famous or whatever, and even right after, he was like helping the community, especially in Harlem, blah, blah, blah. But like, um, I don't know. I think that even still today now, he's so elite that like no one can talk to him, right? So you have to go through like 5 channels, for example, to just have a word with him, and you wouldn't be talking to him. You would be like leaving an email basically, and he would decide whether he wanted to respond or not. Like they're just too elite. Like you cannot talk to them.
Yeah.
So that's why anything that they say, I'm just like,
You're like, whatever. All right. Well, this brings us now to our last conspiracy
oh, that
of the
was
night.
fast. Pause.
This one, I was like, damn, if this ain't real, I don't know what is. So, this conspiracy is that Eminem is a clone.
Nope. Nope.
I wish you guys could see the camera. She said that with so much confidence. Nope.
Ain't no way. Because even if he was, there's no way you could genetically in a lab clone that talent. You can't.
All right, well, check this out. Check this out. This conspiracy is that in 2006, Eminem died in a car crash,
No.
and it was covered up by his label and replaced. The rapper Tom McDonald even made a song where he said this. The song is called "Clone Rappers," and these are the lyrics that Tom McDonald said. For the
Ugh.
record, I do not like Tom McDonald. I think he's just trash. Just want to put that out there. Anyways, these are the lyrics. If they can't control you, they erase the old you. Get your duplicate to enforce their message. They clone Gucci, clone Kodak, clone Eminem. He ain't rap since Encore. Know that.
Tom McDonald just literally surfs on this woke wave that like no one gave him that title. So Eminem has rapped since Encore. So like I don't know, what are you living under a rock? Like but also it's really annoying how Eminem just stays getting attacked. But it's mostly I feel like cuz obviously he's a threat, you know? It's kind of like I don't want to relate him spiritually, but like it's like spiritual warfare. Like you're on the right path when you're getting attacked like OD. And especially since this billboard thing came out this year, everyone's wildin'. So I don't know when this conspiracy theory came out, but everyone's got some shit to say about Eminem, and they keep like side switching because someone will be like Eminem's great, and then like one year they get offended over something, and they're like Eminem like shouldn't be where he is, and it's like you guys are so jealous. It's crazy because Eminem is talented. It doesn't matter what color his skin is. And if it did, like, if he was black, he would be number one. I said it.
Well, I'm going to touch on this actually because this is interesting. So I told you, because like you said, after that whole Billboard list came out, Melly Mel, who's one of the originators of rap, he was part of Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, the song "The Message." I don't know if you're familiar with the song. The chorus is "Don't push me, 'cause I'm close to the edge.
I'm trying not to lose my head.
It's like a joker sometimes. It made me wonder how I keep from going under. So Melly Mel was a part of that group. He's one of the originators of rap. So anyways, he came out and basically said the only reason why Eminem is top 5 is because he's white. And he basically compared him to Royce da 5'9". They said Royce da 5'9" is just as talented as him, but nowhere on the list. So what I thought was interesting, a little update to this, because a lot of like rappers like Papoose, Kevin Gates, 50 Cent, Fat Joe, all came out in defense of Eminem. Even Crooked Eye, and was like, nah. They're like, if you were to take the best supreme lyricists like in the world, like, and sit them at a table, they're like, Eminem would be one of those people at that table. Like, you can't deny his skill set. So then obviously Eminem's fan base also started kind of like going at Melly Mel and calling him racist. Like, oh, you're only saying that because Eminem is white. So the update to this was that Melly Mel then responded to everybody. And then he was like, I don't get why everybody's mad about what I said. He was like, I said what I said. He's like, and now you want to call me a racist. And he's like, well, I can quote Eminem. He's like, because Eminem said it himself. He said it on White America. There's a line where he says, if I was black, I would have sold half. I didn't have to graduate from the high school that he was at to know that. And then he was like, Eminem said that himself. He's like, so if Eminem says it, it's the truth. He's like, but if I say it, I'm racist. He's like, even on the song Till I Collapse, he's like, Eminem names 7 or 8 other rappers that he puts before him, before he even says he's in the list.
But that was also on the Encore album, which was like in the 90s. So maybe back then he would have
that
sold
was
half.
on the Eminem show.
I mean, that was on Curtain Call. I'm sorry. That was on Curtain Call, which was even before
No.
Encore.
That was the Eminem show.
So maybe back then, White America.
That's the Eminem show.
Oh, yeah. Still, before that was the first one. That was before all of those. So I'm saying that my point is Eminem, maybe back then, he was talking how he felt through his heart because he was like, that's true. So, like, back in the 90s, he would have sold half if he was black.
Well, I don't want to be that guy, but the Eminem show came out in the 2000s, so it was not in the 90s. That was Eminem's...
Really?
Yeah, that was Eminem's 3rd or 4th album. He had Infinite, the Slim Shady LP, Marshall Mathers LP, and then the Eminem show. He released the Eminem show before he did the 8 Mile movie.
You just helped my case. My point is that was like the first album. So he had some LPs and whatever before, but like that was his first like.
No, are you crazy?
Album.
Are you crazy?
Are you considering LPs like masterpieces of work? I mean,
oh my god,
they were all great.
Oh my god, no, oh my god,
that was the beginning of his career.
Oh my god, Alexia, you sound crazy right now. Folks, I'm so.
Am I wilding out? Like,
yes.
That was the beginning of his career.
Alexia. All right, I gotta stop you right now, real quick. An LP is what all albums are. An album is called an LP because it's long play format. An EP is a short album.
I've never heard that.
Are you serious?
I swear to God.
An EP is a short one. It's about 4 or 5 songs. So the Slim Shady LP was a full album. He had the song Hi, My Name Is. He had the song Kim. All these songs. The Marshall Mathers LP was a full album. I Am Whatever You Say I Am. He had Stan on there. He had a bunch of big songs.
Why do I think the Eminem show was the first one then? I feel like it came out literally in like 95.
Nope. That was a Slim Shady LP. The Eminem show... That's the one where he has White America, I'm a Soldier, Till I Collapse, When the Music Stops. That's the one with him sitting on the stage and the red curtains behind him.
You can redact all of that, but my point is, it was still the beginning of his career. So if Eminem is putting out albums because he can. He's talented enough. So I'm saying 4 albums in, that's still he's pretty fresh in the game. Especially because he's white. So what do you mean? You only have 1 album out. Okay, fine. But I'm saying, like, if he's speaking like, I had 4 albums out, right? Mm-hmm. And if I was black, I would have sold half. He can't say that on his first album because there's nothing before that to refer to.
Yeah.
So my point is, he's talking out of like truth in a sense where he's like, people are paying attention to me because I'm white, but I'm a white man with talent.
Yes, but
Because Tom McDonald is not selling that shit. He's white.
no, he's not. But my point too, to go into the details of that really quickly. When Eminem, I believe when he's comparing his record sales, is because the album before the Eminem show, the Marshall Mathers LP, which a lot of people consider to be his best album, that album is I think 2 times diamond. I think it sold 20 million copies. So when he, on the follow-up album, when he created the Eminem show, that's kind of him referring to that, like, if I was black, I would have sold half. I didn't have to graduate from high school to know that. You know, like he knew, like that's what the whole song "White America" was about. Him acknowledging that, like, his white privilege is kind of like saying that.
Fine, but I'm saying that's a part of him just acknowledging, like, there were so many black rappers, you know, the competition probably would have been crazy. Like, he wouldn't have stood out in that way. So he did stand out with his skin color, but in the beginning. But then he like carried that weight. He took that weight and he carried it. So I guess, yeah, fine. It started off that he was different because he was white, but then now he's different because he's talented.
Yeah, but I think
he can rap circles. He can rap right now. Like,
I mean, he was able to do
his
that.
bars are crazy.
He was able to do that back then, though, too. Like,
yeah, but what I'm saying is, especially back then, nobody gave a shit. Nobody would. People would be like, "Oh, you're a white, you're not a rapper," and then they wouldn't listen.
Wow. I feel like I'm in a Twilight Zone right now.
Am I crazy?
Yeah, you're a little crazy right now. The only reason why I say that, and there's no disrespect, maybe it's just because, like, the dates, and I know, like, you don't really memorize albums because, like, you just, like, listen to the songs
okay,
that you
and
like.
to be fair, like, a little, you know, like, white girl growing up in California, that Eminem show was my first album I ever owned.
Okay,
that
yeah,
was
all right,
literally
yeah.
the first one.
So, reference point.
And I was, what, a preteen? I don't fucking remember what year it came out.
Okay,
to be honest, I don't even care. But
I'm just saying.
In my
point.
my head, I'm like, oh, like that album's hella old because that was the first one I ever owned.
Okay, no, I understand that, you know, and that's your reference point. So, you know, it completely makes sense. But I know the Eminem show was, like, at the height of Eminem's career. Like, that was the height of it. Like, he was, like, huge at that time. Where was it? Yeah, the Slim Shady LP. Well, his first.
So, in my opinion, he was huge then and ever since then. I mean, the only time he went down is when he was, like, relapsing on, like, hardcore drugs or whatever.
Yeah, well, check it out.
But other than that, he's been, like, at the top the whole time in my head.
So his first album, Infinite, came out in 1996. Then his first debut album when he signed with Dr. Dre was the Slim Shady LP, which came out in 1999. Then...
Okay, so I'm going to age myself, but I was 9 years old when that happened. So you know damn well my mom was not like, yeah, go ahead, listen to rap. Like,
obviously.
I don't remember that.
Obviously, but like...
I was 9 years old.
Well, I'm just saying, because the point that I'm trying to get at is this, right? And then the Marshall Mathers LP came out in the year 2000. Then the Eminem show came out in the year 2002. That was, like, peak Eminem. Like, that was, like, when he was destroying everything. That was around the same time that he signed 50 Cent. Like, he had the pull to do all of that.
Okay, so that still speaks to the validity of his bar, where he's like, the albums in the past, I would have sold half. That, I don't know why people are, like, crying about that.
No one is crying about it. My point that I'm saying is that, just for clarity for everybody, because you assumed that the Eminem show was his first album because that was the first one you consumed. But
that was my first album.
Yes, but I'm saying, like, if you're going to be, you know, if Melly Mel, what he's saying, you're like, oh, he's just a racist, and it's like, well, hold on. Like, let's see what he's trying to say. Like, he isn't saying that, oh, Eminem said that on his first album. It's like, Eminem was crazy famous already. The Eminem show was, like, he just kept going up and up, like, the peak of his career. And I think the whole point.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and the whole point. Yeah, because after the Eminem show, he then did the 8 Mile movie. Then he did Encore, and then that's when he kind of like just stopped making music. That's when he had the whole overdose and everything. That's why the whole conspiracy theory is that Eminem died in a car crash around that time because he hasn't rapped the same since Encore. But going back to the whole Melly Mel thing, is that Eminem, said the very same thing that Melly Mel said. Like literally said that, yeah, if I was black,
Okay.
I would have sold half. And Melly Mel's like, I'm saying the same thing. He's only on top 5 because he's white.
Well, then
And Eminem saying the same
the
thing. He's like,
only
but
thing
y'all
I
calling
have
me
to say to
racist.
that is like a bunch of people, like let's say certain races and even like sexualities, like I can say it about myself, but if you said it about me, it's fucked up.
Yeah, and I and
You
I
know what I mean?
yeah,
Like
I get it.
I could be like, oh, I'm Asian, so that means I look like I'm 17 until I look like I'm 70. But if you said it, then it's racist.
And then the other thing that Melly Mel also referenced as well is that when he says Eminem is in top 5, and then everybody kind of went at him, he also referenced Eminem's very own lyrics on "Till I Collapse," where Eminem literally says, "I got a list. Here's the order that it goes. It goes Reggie, Jay-Z, Tupac, and Biggie, Andre from Outkast, Jada, Corrupt, Nas, and then me." So it's like M puts himself as like number 8 behind all these people. And so Melly Mel's whole thing was like, y'all coming at my neck because I said he's not top 5. He's like, but the man himself said he's not even top 5.
But that was also how many years ago?
This was in 2002.
Okay, so in 2002 he was number 8. In 2023 he's number 5. Also, we had a discussion about this before, like the Billboard Top 150 or whatever. Who curated that? Like, we don't even have we're not citing that either. Like, what names are behind the making of that list? So it's kind of like y'all worried about something that like could have been AI generated for all we know.
Wow, here we go, bringing it back to the AI.
I'm just saying.
And guys, we're gonna do an episode on that as well, comparing our list to the Billboard list because
I'm just saying, like, okay, the list is there. If you want to like contest it, talk to Billboard, not like to each other, because it's like it's wasting your time. Because let's be real, like, I don't think Lil Wayne's number 7, but I'm not gonna sit here and be like, you guys are wrong. Like, it's my personal opinion. So I don't know. It's just like, who knows what stats they're going off of, and I'm very sure that it's not just popularity. Like, I'm sure there's a bunch of math behind it. I bet they did like a whole Excel sheet over this. So it's not like just
maybe,
thrown together.
maybe. I mean, that's all a possibility. I mean, but if it makes you feel better as well, Eminem wasn't the only rapper that Melly Mel had smoke for. He said the same thing about Kendrick Lamar. He said that Kendrick Lamar is overrated and that Eminem and Kendrick Lamar haven't inspired anybody to rap differently. That the landscape of rap didn't change after they came out. Like
I
there was
disagree
nobody.
with that. But
I
I
so
do
do I.
agree with Yeah, I do agree with Kendrick is just so new to the game that like him being number 2 is a little like crazy, cuz it's like he's too new. Like, you can't, it's almost unfair to put him in front of like Tupac and Biggie, cuz their lives ended really early. So what were they, 22? Like, not even. So they
25,
only
26.
had like yeah, so they only had like a couple years to put out good music, and their music was amazing, and then their lives got cut short. But Kendrick, I mean, he is good. Like, he's a lyricist. Like, I fucks with him heavy, but like to put him number 2, I was just kind of like shocked.
I agree. Like, I think we're all in agreement with that. Like, I think it's just a little too soon because if you look at everybody else that's on that list, they have 10 years plus in the game over him minimum. And if you're looking at M, Nas, and Jay-Z, they have 20 plus years in the game over Kendrick. So it's just kind of crazy
Mhm.
that, like, this guy has been around for a
Yeah, that
decade.
he's already 2, and it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's like someone who's been
But
around for
again,
10
like,
years.
who even made this list? Like, we're arguing for like what?
Well, that's rap. That's rap all the time. But
Yeah.
going back on,
There's always going to be yeah.
yeah, it's always going to be contested,
There's always,
debated.
always, always going to be something like that someone doesn't like in rap. Like, rap is like it's the only genre that has a birthday, so it's really emotional. Everyone feels a type of way about it, so it is what it is.
All right, but going back to the conspiracy, guys, we went on a little bit of a tangent, going over Eminem's discography release dates. The other claims that Eminem is a clone, which this one is dumb, is that Eminem's face doesn't look the same throughout his life, or that his face basically looks drastically different. And I'm like, obviously.
I mean, people age, and white men do not age well. So, I'm sorry. Let's just keep it a buck, okay? Most white men do not age well. Say it louder for the people in the back.
Y'all heard it, white people?
So that's possible.
No, I mean, so that's what they say. They say that he's a clone because his face doesn't look the same. Also, there was an interview that he did with Zane Lowe, and they said that Eminem seemed to like glitch. Like he kind of just like froze mid-interview and seemed like he was glitching.
Well, then that wouldn't make him a clone. That would make him like a robot or something. So, like, which one is it then? If you're a conspiracy theorist and you're like, he's a clone, like, clones wouldn't glitch like that. That means that there's, like, a network issue or, like, a disconnected wire inside the mechanism. That doesn't...
Hey.
Clones don't glitch.
Well, that's the thing, though. Maybe he's a robot clone of Eminem. I mean, because Eminem even said in Rap God, he's a rap bot. He's a rap robot.
I mean, he is, because he just be spitting out bars and... that shit is like 4 levels over everyone's head, and then but also why would you just be like, oh, so Eminem said this, so this is it, like I could be like, well, I identify as intelligent, so I'm intelligent, so now for the rest of my life you have to refer to me as that, it's like and maybe that's true, but then maybe it changes, or maybe it's not true, and then just because I said it doesn't make it true.
It's very true. It's crazy. What a concept. And this is the last thing that these people say about this conspiracy that he's not the original Eminem, is that during an interview as well, where he was with Snoop Dogg, he couldn't remember a music video that he was in towards the beginning of his career when he was with Dr. Dre and Snoop and Exhibit and everybody on the beach.
I don't remember what I had for breakfast yesterday. That's not that crazy.
Yeah, that setup was crazy.
Honestly, no, that's not that crazy. All that says to me, like psychologically, is just that whatever shoot that was, it just wasn't as important to him as other shoots. So him not remembering that's because I've had full-blown conversations in very big events, and I don't remember shit. Let me give you an example.
Here we go. Buckle your
Chris
seatbelts.
has a friend. Chris has a friend. And we were at a wedding. So all of us were at this wedding together. That's a big deal, right? Like, weddings they're not happen all the time. Like so I was at this wedding, and apparently this friend asked me to dance with him. And I apparently, like, flicked my hair in his face, turned, and walked away. Bro, when I tell you, it's not that I don't remember doing that. I don't remember that person being there. Like, I remember being at the wedding. I don't remember seeing that human there at all. So it's like, that's not that crazy. So if you're like, Eminem doesn't remember the music video, I don't care.
Yo, Lexi would be a great manager for you, Eminem. Just throwing that out there if you're ever listening to our podcast. She got you.
A great what?
Great manager.
I am.
The pride that came with that. I'm amazing.
No, I don't think I don't think there's much validity behind those. I also admit I may be biased because Eminem is literally the GOAT in my eyes. But GOAT or not, like, if he was a clone, then the Eminem that died is still the GOAT to me. So I don't think that, like, my opinion is, like, swayed towards whatever. Like, him still being alive doesn't necessarily benefit me. I think he's the GOAT no matter what. So don't think that, like, I'm like, everything you say against Eminem, I don't believe. Like, that's not what it is. I'm just saying the evidence that you brought is just, I just don't buy it.
It isn't sufficient. They're reaching at this point.
Yeah.
That's all it is. He just reached. I mean, really think about Eminem's career. Like, he has how many albums? How many music videos has he shot? And we're in 2023. You're asking him to remember a cameo he did in a music video 20 years ago.
Exactly.
Like, of course he's not gonna remember, bro. He's probably on video sets every other week or every other month. Like, come on.
Yeah. So
So,
anyway,
but yeah.
don't mess with my boy M. Any other conspiracies?
No, that was the last one, man. That was it. I wanted to end with your homeboy, with your main man.
Facts.
So that's it. Those are the conspiracies that we found on hip hop, guys.
I know. I'm sure there's 1,000 more, but
I'm sure there are, but we don't got time for all that.
I mean, I enjoy conspiracies, just like hearing them, because then I want to be like, oh, like, what if? But I'm not like, losing sleep over it or like dissecting everything. Like, what if for real? Like, I just think that like the what if is like interesting because it's
same.
like, oh, well, what if all of this was true? And then like, what if all of it wasn't? So
I think
that's it.
I think for me, out of all the conspiracies that we talked about tonight, the Gucci Mane clone, the Sicko Mode conspiracy, Diddy being gay or Jay-Z being gay or Beyonce's fake pregnancy or Eminem being a clone, I think the one that has the most legitimacy is the Drake Sicko Mode.
Sicko Mode?
Yeah.
I called it.
You
guys heard it first.
That has the most legitimacy. Like, it has, like, actual stuff to back it.
But again, maybe he wasn't actually fucking her. Maybe he was just talking about it because that would piss me off.
All right, guys. Well, that's our episode on hip-hop conspiracy theories. If you guys know of any other ones that we may have not covered or talked about, let us know, because I think these are interesting just because it's like they come out of fucking nowhere. It's like, you guys take the...
And what do you think about these ones that Chris researched?
Shut up. Because I'm just curious, because it seems like a lot of these conspiracies, besides the Drake one, y'all take like the smallest thing and just like, oh, he's got a wrinkle on his face. He's a clone. Like, what the fuck? Like, he's just getting older. Like, that's it. His skin is getting thinner.
It's still interesting though. I still want to hear it. Comment on the YouTube if you don't mind. If you're listening on Spotify, just wait 2 days and it'll be on the YouTube.
Yeah, please just be patient. 48 hours is all we ask. Well, yeah, guys, so that's our
yes, thank you so much
episode.
for listening. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and TikTok. Follow me on TikTok.
Yeah, if it's not banned by the time you guys do that, yeah, follow her on TikTok. You guys can follow me and all my social media links at thisisceo.com. We're also going to be covering in a future episode comparing our GOAT list to Billboard's and basically comparing our criteria to theirs because I thought it was very interesting. It's in a lot of discussions right now going on with that.
Many questions, yep.
Yeah. Ours was very close to theirs, so it was just some things moved around a little bit.
Yeah, so stay tuned, please, next week. Don't forget to check out our latest if you haven't already. Thank you guys again, and we hope you have a wonderful week.
All right, guys. We'll catch you on the next one. Be safe and be well. Peace.
Apes.